Hey everyone, welcome back to Fantasy Flight Live, FFGLive. We're here today with Star Wars Armada. I'm joined by Brooks and Michael, two of the devs working on Star Wars Armada, and we have, as you can see before you, the Nadiri Starhawk and the Onager-Class Star Destroyer, two of the brand new ships coming very, very soon to stores near you. So we're going to do a bit of gameplay today. We'll do some Q&A. Throw your questions in the chat stream on YouTube or Twitch, and I'll ask them out to these guys. And yeah, let's get started. What's happening here?
So we are doing an example game as if this was the middle 3-foot area of a 6-foot long full-size game. We're not using any objectives because we're just going to play a couple rounds to show you how these ships look and act on the table in the game. We played through round 1 off screen as both sides closed in a bit, prepared various tokens, and we're going into round 2 right now.
All right. So I see a token out there on the board that some people might not necessarily know about if they haven't been following the articles. What's up with that guy?
So that is my targeting token. It has a symbol. It's double-sided. I'm going to mark it here. Red and blue. So if both players are using an Onager, you have ways to differentiate them. That is the targeting token for my Onager. At the end of its activation in round 1, it had to place that out within its firing arc, within its special firing arc, measured from that colored bow section. And that is how I'm going to measure the range of my ignition attack this round when I fire its primary weapon, probably at the Starhawk here.
Seems like an attack is incoming.
Yeah. So that's the new super weapon upgrade slot.
Mm-hmm. And does your Starhawk have a similar super weapon?
I do, but my super weapon is different. So I have a Magnite Crystal Tractor Beam.
Yeah, do you guys want to show some of the new cards off? Like maybe walk through the lists a little bit, and you can throw them in the dice tray there.
All right.
And people will be able to see them there.
This is my super weapon, Evan. It is good for slowing down or speeding up enemy ships to match my speed.
Sure.
It's a little bit more powerful than the existing Tractor Beam effect that's in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and it's a special weapon that the Starhawks were equipped with.
That's awesome. That is very cool. And what do we have over on?
So I have some orbital bombardment particle cannons, some big mass drivers that this ship is equipped with to hurl slugs at planets or enemy ships that it can get in its crosshairs. So this is going to give me the ignition long keyword, meaning when I place this ignition token, I can place it anywhere within long range only. I can't place it at medium or close range. And it also adds a critical effect that's going to do some splash damage when it hits, if I can get any red criticals. Michael only has 2 ships, so this is not going to be as important. But this is the longest ranged weapon option for the Onager-Class Star Destroyer.
All right. As we get into it, I just see a couple quick questions here in the chat. So Darth Sanguis says, real big thanks for doing this live show for the new ships. The hype is real. Does the new defense token ignore range restrictions and line of sight restrictions?
Requirements.
Why don't we get to that when we actually use it?
Perfect.
Because it will certainly come up. Both my Onager and Michael's Starhawk have a Salvo defense token.
Okay, perfect. Well, we should be able to see that then in practice. Rune Talk asking if these ships are still coming out in December. That is our best information. That date is not yet locked in, or we haven't locked in a date in December. It's looking like that's on track. It might slip back into the new year, but we'll keep that updated. Our upcoming page, we recently overhauled that, so it's more accurate. It has release months now listed there, so you can refer to that, and it is no longer full of lies. So so check that out. We'll update it as we know more.
Okay, so I have initiative, so I'm going to go ahead and activate.
All right.
And I am going to activate my Starhawk because it's going to get shot at one way or another. So I'm just going to go ahead and move up.
All right. Well, Michael's closing range with me as quickly as possible. I am going to go ahead and activate my arc. Do you want to use your Magnite Tractor Beam?
What speed are you at?
My Arquitins is at speed 2. My Onager is out of range. My Gazanti is out of range.
No, I can't do anything because we're at the same speed.
All right. So I'll activate my Arquitins. I have a navigate command. I am going to keep it on the dial. I have the token as well. So I'm going to fire here, and you have avoided my side arcs, and that MC-30 is out of range. So I'll attack your front with my front, which is just within medium range. So I've got a red and a blue. I'm going to use my dual turbo laser turrets. While attacking, I can exhaust the card to add 1 red die. If I do, remove 1 die.
Seems like a good trade.
So 2 hits and an accuracy.
Okay.
I will accuracy your salvo because I don't want you to start shooting back this early. I know we're going to have to wait for the rules a little longer.
I'm just going to go ahead and brace and redirect. And I will send 1 damage to my left side.
All right. Now I'm going to use my navigate dial to increase my speed to 3. I'm going to do it.
I'll get that token out of the way.
As you're moving there, they're asking a bit about the Onager and how many points it is. If you just want to pass over the ship card, potentially, I can throw that in the tray here so folks can see that.
So I am lunging my Arquitins up right in front of this Starhawk. This is a very dangerous move for me. I'm bumping the ship a little as well. Whatever. It'll stay there. I did not collide, but the ships are touching. Normally I'd remove the miniature, but it looks much pretty like this. My targeting token is still underneath.
Thank you.
Oh, I was thinking we'd remove the Arquitins. We wouldn't remove the Starhawk.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I am being really risky with this Arquitins, but there's a reason why. We'll get to it shortly.
Okay. I'm going to reveal a nav command with my MC-30, and
that's a torpedo frigate, right?
Yep. And I think I'm going to reduce speed.
Did you throw that Onager back in that card real quick?
Of course.
Thank you.
So I'm going to go ahead and cut in, I think, at this point.
So Darth Sanguis is asking if there'll be an Onager article up today as well. Not today, but soon. On Monday is when the Onager article is going to go up. So tune in to the FFG website.
Yeah, I'm going 3.
All right. I'll go ahead and activate my Gazanti to navigate command. I did not think you were going to come in so fast. I probably should have had a squadron. So I'm going to use that navigate command.
My lucky day.
Do I have range first? I am out of range. I kind of like to stay that way. I'm going to use that navigate dial to drop to speed 1 and move to here. I'll run over my own TIE fighter there.
Why don't you go ahead and just place those in your rear arc on that corner.
There we go. I'm down to speed 1.
Okay.
And now, since you're out of ships, I'll activate my Onager. I have a navigate command, and I'm going to open fire. I'm going to check my dials real quick. Okay. So, because I have an ignition token down underneath the Arquitins here, I'm going to put that right at the corner and remove them for a second.
It is there.
So, I am going to perform my first attack. Oh, and Ryan's here. As an ignition attack, using my special battery armament and my special firing arc, which I'm going to
You can see that on the card.
pull the ship miniature off momentarily. So this shaded zone in the front arc of the Onager is my special firing arc. It's all still part of the normal front firing arc and front hull zone, but it's a further restriction on my special battery attack. So now I'm going to perform my special battery attack against the front of Michael Starhawk because that's the only thing I can see. His sides are tucked back behind his firing arcs there. I will note he is still beyond long range of me, but I'm measuring range from my ignition token, not from my ship. So I'm going to actually attack at using my close range dice pool while attacking at extreme range. Extreme range is beyond long range.
That seems pretty good.
It is. So I'm going to use my special battery armament instead of my front battery armament for 4 reds, 3 blacks. Now I'm going to check arc. Michael's front arc is in my arc. Line of sight. That arc within is between my targeting point and Michael's targeting point. However, I have General Ramadi as my commander. So when a friendly ship is attacking a ship, if the attack is obstructed by a ship or obstacle, by an actual physical ship or obstacle, not by a card effect, instead of removing the die, I add a die. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to add another black die to it.
Wow.
So that is why I flew that Arcthins really aggressively.
A question from Krabok here. Will evades not work in this case?
Evades will work.
Perfect.
Michael, however, doesn't have any. So here's my attack roll. I have veteran gunners as well, so I could reroll that pool if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. Yep, so I think that is going to be my attack. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage.
Okay, so I am lucky because there is no accuracy icon in there, so I'm definitely going to use my brace to cut that down. And yeah, I think, so I cannot salvo because not only is Brooks' ship not in range, but this is also a salvo, or this is a ignition attack.
Yep.
So I can't use that. So, and I don't want to burn my redirect token, so I'm just going to brace.
Okay.
So that's going to be 5 damage, I believe?
Yes.
Okay.
A question from Mariano Banchero. Are older ships
leave those
able
out.
to equip Salvo?
They are. Commodore Agate, who has already been previewed in the articles, gives the flagship she is equipped to 1 defense token of your choice, except Scatter. So she can be equipped to any rebel ship and give that ship a salvo token, or, as Michael's done, a second brace token.
Yes.
Or another token of your choice if there's a specific combo you want to use. There is also another upgrade card that is not faction locked, that's non-unique, that's in both products. There are 2 copies of it, but we're not going to tell you about it yet. All right.
But it might help you out.
So that is going to be my only attack because none of your ships are in long range for my other weapons. My targeting token goes away. It goes a little farther back like that. Okay. Then now I have to move. So I'm at speed 1. I have a nav token. Actually, no, I don't have a nav token. I used it last turn. I have a nav dial. That's fine. I'm going to use my nav dial to reduce my speed to 0. But I am still going to execute a turn. Using the Raycal title, while I execute a 0-speed maneuver, I can get a joint of yaw at that, and I'm going to execute it here. If you're going to go to the overhead camera, Ryan.
I am already on it.
Awesome. I'm going to take the ship off the base to show this. So I'm going to go ahead, mark my ship's position using the last notch of the tool. And I'm going to say, Michael, I'm going to use my nav, the effect of that card, to do 1 click left. I'm only going to do the 1 click. I have a nav dial. I could increase that to 2 if I wanted to. But I'm going to do a 1 click left turn at speed 0. So I've declared that. Remove the ship base. Holding the tool down. Click the joint 1 click to the left. And return the ship base. So you can see, compared to where I was here, I'm rotating more or less around the front corner. So my ship does actually move forward slightly, but it hasn't moved much distance. It's mostly just the rotation of the base.
So if you think of this ship like it's an artillery piece, this is a good way to pivot it, to stay on target.
All right, so that now it's rotated, and at the end of its activation, it is going to go ahead and place its ignition token again.
And that is the Onager's specific title that lets you did that.
Yes, this is the Raycal title. It's in the card tray.
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and drop off that targeting token a little deeper into the range band. I don't want Michael getting past it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I see some people asking
my Onager.
about the size of the new models. After the game is done, we'll get some of the biggest existing ships for Imperials and Rebels out on the table. So the size comparison will be very obvious at that point.
Yep. All right. Squadron phase. Yep. I'm just going to hop some of my squadrons up into position to attack. Next round.
Oh, no.
Okay. Looks good.
Okay.
You can refresh your defense tokens too.
Yep.
Hey, Brooks, can you pronounce the title?
Rake Hell.
It's in the tray right there.
All right, I'm going to take my ship cards back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see here. A question. Are you planning on releasing a new rules reference with the new wave?
The rules are contained in the insert sheets. That is something we're looking at down the road, is incorporating more of the rules, because there are more rules, especially in the Onager-Class Star Destroyers insert sheet, that will be good for their opponents to know. Mm-hmm. We are looking at making that rules information available online as well.
Perfect. Piero is asking Mark 1 or 2. I believe that's referring to the Starhawk. That's a Mark 1, I believe.
Yeah, you can go ahead and show that.
There we go. There's that card there for you guys. Not sure if you guys already covered this rule, that Onager will be able to fire both the super weapon and from the front firing arc in the same round.
Only if it's equipped gunnery teams.
All right.
Ready?
Ready?
Awesome. All right. I'm going to activate my Starhawk first.
Yep. You light me up.
So I have a navigation command, and I'm going to go ahead and shoot out of my front at, and I think you're just in the one arc.
Yep.
So we'll just do that.
Card back.
Oh, thank you very much. And I am pretty sure that's close range.
I am pretty sure that's close range as well.
So that's what I was hoping to get to. All right.
Can the Onager fire a super weapon twice if it's equipped with gunnery teams?
No.
Okay.
That's going to hurt.
Nice.
1, 2,
I'm just
3,
gonna stand on
4,
that, I
5,
think.
6, 7.
So I think I'm gonna take off your redirects.
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gone. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, if there had been one die facing
I
different.
Didn't need to use the leading shots
Boom,
on that one.
gone.
Okay. So I still have one attack.
2 shields.
So
I would have liked that to stick around just a heartbeat longer to get me another obstructed bonus die.
this is what I need as a simple ship. I just need to point it and go.
Yeah. Well, it's sure worked out for you there.
So I don't want to take a long range shot at your Gazanti, so I think I'm actually going to open up on the squads. So, because excuse me, I might have range on at least one of the squads. Oh, excuse me.
You got those two.
Yep. Okay. So I'm going to go attack them. The Mark 1 has a red and a blue, or a blue and a black in its anti-squad armament. So I'm just going to get 1 blue die at each of those squads. Fumble fingers. Okay. So 1 damage.
All right,
on
TIE
the-
Fighter's down to
yep.
2.
And the bomber is going to take no damage.
Okay.
Okay. Then I'm going to move, and I'm going to stay at my speed.
Yeah, you just want to get as close as possible.
I think I'm going to move like so. Am I plugged in there?
Yep.
Okay.
See a question about reprints for existing Armada content. So we've got some reprints coming here in November. Some others scheduled for a little bit later, around December, and then some additional ones for earlier in the first quarter of 2020. So all of those are kind of focused on those first wave or two of Armada ships that have been out of print. So you should be able to look forward to seeing those coming back in print within the next several months here or so.
Oh, before I move, I'd like to use my repair command.
Yeah, go ahead.
To raise one shield on my front.
I got it here.
Thank you.
All right, and Michael.
Go ahead.
Michael also used his Magnite tractor beams to increase my Gazanti speed to match his speed of 2.
Because I'd rather leave the Onager at speed 0 at the moment.
Yep. And I'm going to have to change that. So I'm going to go ahead and activate the Onager. The concentrate fire command. My ignition token is down. You're in my front arc. You're at close range of the ignition token. So I'm going to fire that ignition attack.
Cool, cool.
4 red, 3 black. You've splattered my Arquitins all over space, so General Ramadi is not going to help out here. So that's what I've got for the roll.
Okay. So I can't salvo in any case.
I'm going to use Veteran Gunners to re-roll my entire attack pool.
Okay.
That was a mistake.
Wow.
That was a bad mistake. All right.
I will accept this second roll.
I'm not going to. I'm going to use my concentrate fire to throw in the black die.
Okay.
That's a little better. I should have stuck with the first. 2 on 2, 3, 4, 5 damage, 1 accuracy. Accuracy, your redirect. So it's all going on your front.
Okay. I will brace.
Okay.
And I will contain.
Do you want to also salvo?
So I.
Oh, right,
this
no.
is an ignition attack, so I don't believe I can.
No.
Wouldn't it be funny if we make it through this entire gameplay stream and there's just never a situation where salvo can be used?
If he attacks me and accuracy's my salvo every time.
We're getting closer.
All right,
It's
so
like Gazanti just
you're
seems
still
to open
taking
up on
3,
me.
so that's 2 shields. And 1 damage card for you, but face down because they get that contained.
Okay.
I'm not going to use the crit. There's nothing to splash damage on.
It's 1 damage card.
When can you move the ignition token? Is it only at the end of turn 1?
At the end of my activation with that ship. So after it's moved. So it goes away now when I shoot. It'll go back at the end of the round. No arc, no arc.
And could you just explain real quick why he cannot salvo there?
Because it is an ignition attack. It's part of the ignition attack special rules. It's not a battery of turbo lasers firing and the other ship firing back. It's some sort of massive primary weapon, either some sort of super laser or in this case physical projectile cannons that are like orbital bombardment, planet busters kind of things, or city busters at least.
And it's just built into the rules of the
Yeah.
game. Like you can't salvo against that.
Special attack.
Yeah, perfect.
All right, I'm going to use Commander Beck to gain a raid token for navigate. To get a navigate token, to get the effective navigate token on my maneuver here, because I don't have a navigate dial, I don't have a navigate token, but I don't want to be at speed 0 anymore. So I'm going to use Commander Beck, take that navigate raid, so I can't resolve. I actually take that token after this effect resolves. So I'll get a navigate token. I will resolve a navigate command as if I had spent a navigate token, and then I'll get the navigate raid token here. So I'm going to get my speed back up to 1.
Which means Brooks gets to use his their defense tokens as soon as I shoot.
And gonna have to come towards you. That's the price of that.
I think
but
that's worth it.
I think I can keep my front shield value towards you. So that's what's really important here.
All right.
Okay.
So I am going to activate
I'll leave that in there.
my frigate. And I am also doing a navigate command. Before I go,
Got a bunch of TIE fighters all clogging up the works.
I think I'm at medium range of your
Yep.
Gazanti.
Hey, Mike, who's your commander?
My commander is Kirsta Agate, who commanded the Starhawk in, I believe, the Aftermath novel?
Yep.
Is that right?
Throw her in here.
Yeah. So a lot of her advantage comes in at the start of the game because that's how I have an extra brace token. She also lets me resolve a defense effect by discarding a token. So if something was accuracy'd out, I can still default to that. So I'm going to shoot out of my right side at your Gazanti.
Okay.
So that's 2 damage.
Well, I'll happily scatter it.
And I'm going to go ahead and open up out of my front at your squads. So I'm going to get 1 and 1 at the bomber.
Okay.
So 1 damage on the bomber.
You've only got a blue anti-squad.
Oh, excuse me. That's right. I was thinking of my other
Okay,
ship.
so nothing on the
So
bomber.
nothing on the bomber.
TIE fighter, though.
TIE fighter gets no damage either.
Before you move, may I place my targeting token here?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and put that targeting token right there.
Awesome. Okay.
All right, so you're
I
moving.
think I'm going to go ahead and... So I'm at speed 3 right now.
Mm-hmm. Where are you flying?
I think I'm going to stick... Just going to come around there,
Yeah,
Evan, if
of course.
That's cool. Thank you much.
No, please lean over the table awkwardly.
Yeah, I'll just pull the TIE fighter out of the way for you.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to do this. Just eyeball that. Tuck in right there. Okay. Oh. That's not exactly where I was hoping to be, but I'm going to go ahead and stick with that.
All
Just
right.
got to commit to your moves.
Fly right down the throat.
Well, it's not looking good with all this heavy metal bearing down on me. I'm going to activate my Gazanti with a squadron command with the expanded hangar bay. I have a squadron value of 3, so I'll activate all 3 of my squadrons here. And they will all jump up to the front. We'll do TIE Fighter. We'll attack the front of your Starhawk for 1.
I'll go ahead and redirect that. Actually, I'll save that. I'll just take the damage on my hull.
Okay. Other TIE Fighter does the same. Nothing. And TIE Bomber does the same. For 1. Just damage, not crit.
Go ahead and redirect that to my right side.
Okay. Alrighty. And then I'm going to shoot. I have a couple shots here, actually. Oh. My Gazanti is going to fire its bow at the starboard side of your Starhawk because that is obstructed at medium range, which will add a die because of General Ramadi instead of removing the die. So I have a 2 blue from my Gazanti's front into your Starhawk's starboard side. Accuracy crit. I will accuracy your redirect.
Okay. I think I will salvo.
Oh, here it is.
Okay.
The moment you've all been waiting for.
And I'm just going to stand on that because I
Okay.
think you're attacking my right side.
Yeah,
correct?
yeah. So that's
Okay.
just going to knock a
So
shield
let's
off.
let's just do a salvo attack.
Okay. So you're going to take that damage first.
Yep.
Down to 2 shields there. Now you're going to do a salvo attack back. The salvo attack uses the same range measurement and line of sight measurement as the original attack. So it's medium range, obstructed. It's going to use your printed rear battery armament. You want to throw the salvo token in there too?
Yeah.
Which is 2 red and a black. Now it's a medium range attack, so you can't use the black die. And it's obstructed, so you're going to drop down to 1 red. And it's a double. Well, I will scatter, or I will evade that first, so re-roll it at medium range. I was hoping obstructed salvo wouldn't be a big deal, but it turns out it kind of was. I don't think that's worth burning my scatter over, so I'll take the damage and lose my only shield on the bow of my Gazanti. Okay, and then I'm moving at speed 2 because you sped me up.
Yep.
I'm gonna actually use my navigate token to speed up to 3 to get across that asteroid and swing around over to here, hopefully out of arcs of that MC30 as well. Okay.
Okay.
That's that. Squadron phase is, that's your red die. Squadron phase, nothing. All my squadrons have already activated. Next round.
And
Let's go ahead and form commands.
the salvo attack, it uses the printed battery, right? So things like spinal armament, battery modification would not affect.
Yep. Whatever you have printed on your ship card and on your punch template, that's what you're going to roll. Minus range, obstruction, etc.
Right.
We tried salvo in a number of different variations, and almost all of them were far too powerful.
Sure.
Particularly against small ships.
I mean, extra attacks seems pretty good.
Okay.
Also, importantly, during a salvo attack, you can only resolve the standard critical effect. So some special critical effects that, particularly the ones that deal extra damage during an attack, you can't use any of them because otherwise it just incentivizes these very specific combinations of cards as opposed to just the ship's normal stats and normal profiles.
Right, right.
Using the base printed rear armament, all standard ships in the game, everything but the Superstar Destroyer, has a value of between 0 and 3. Some of the Superstar Destroyer variants have 4 rear dice.
Right.
So, as much as I hate to leave my MC30 in that front arc, I think since I've got 2 shots on your Onager, I'm going to need to take that.
I am at speed 1, so I'm going to get my tokens. And I have 5 shields on that big front bow there.
So I have repair commands, so before we get to shooting, I think I'm going to go ahead and dial up 2 shields on that front.
Alright, 2 shields back on the front.
Cool. Okay. So I'm going to start with my left side arc. Okay, so I'm not going to re-roll. I could re-roll with my leading shots, but I'm just going to leave that.
Alright, nothing else to modify?
I have no other modifications.
Alright, well, I'm going to...
Before we get too far, it seems like there's some kerfuffle in the chat about the Gazanti turning on the 3rd click. Was there some effect or a card or something?
No.
Perfect.
Oh, okay. I thought Brooks was just using
I probably hit that asteroid then. It was pretty close. So, point defense failure on the Gazanti.
Okay.
Alright.
That's not a big deal. All right. So there's my attack.
Okay.
So what would you like to spend on?
5, I'm going to brace to 2. Or 3, rather. I'm going to redirect 2 points to my port side. And I'm going to salvo back, because I don't know if I'm going to get to do that on your second attack. So 2 damage to the port side.
Yep.
1 damage to the bow. Shields are down to 4.
This is from my left side.
Throwing a red-blue back at your left.
Okay.
Hit crit.
I think I'll redirect and suffer that on my rear zone.
Okay. So you can see these additional salvo attacks, they're only doing modest damage. They're putting additional pressure on the defense tokens, even in a one-on-one match.
And I can't salvo a salvo.
No.
So I just spend my tokens, suffer the damage, and we move on.
Okay. And your front.
Okay. Daddy needs a new hyperdrive.
I think Daddy gets a new hyperdrive.
All right.
2, 4, 7. 2 accuracies. Lock down what you want to lock down.
Your brace and your redirect.
Okay. Well, I'm taking 7 through the nose. Standard critical effect. I'll spend the salvo. So I'm going to get rid of that salvo because I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to last. Not going to get to use that thing's front arc on me.
Question on Onager with gunnery team.
I'm going to keep the salvo, actually. I'm not going to burn it yet.
Okay.
Onager with gunnery team. Can you attack the same ship with both normal front and ignition attack?
No, the normal gunnery team restrictions still apply.
Perfect.
All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4 on the shields. Face up crit, structural damage.
Ooh. I like that.
And 2 more. All right, 4 out of my 10 hull. The Onager does not have contain uniquely among large ships. Actually, Liberty doesn't too, I suppose. Because it's got all this exposed, important, valuable, volatile machinery in the front. And you probably put some turbo laser bolts right down into that weapon trench.
So I think I'm going to set a course. I'm just going to move around.
Yeah, come around over here.
Thank you very much.
Could you salvo before you die if you're taking fatal damage?
Yes, yeah, the salvo defense token triggers during the attack, and its effect goes off. Its effect says, at the end of this attack, perform an attack. And there is a specific line about that happening.
Perfect.
So I don't think there's a way I can avoid a collision. So
If you turned right at both clicks, like at both joints, or maybe only at the first joint, and you just went back straight, you might fit.
I think I'm just going to stick in place.
Okay.
And I will end up having a collision with, since I end up here, it's going to be a collision with my own ship,
Okay.
because that's the closest ship.
Well, that could be worse for me.
Okay. I'd rather just stay in my position. Okay, Brooks.
Okay. Well,
I do think I'm going to use my Magnite tractor beam on the Gazanti.
okay, Gazanti drops back down to 2. 6. I'm gonna go with the Onager now with a concentrate fire command. So that MC-30's taken some damage, but I've done a lot. Do I have a mark over here? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and fire at the Starhawk with my primary weapon. So it's in my special firing arc. It's at close range of my targeting token. And the attack is unobstructed, unfortunately. I love that Ramadi just completely turns that game mechanic on its end. And so you are trying to fly completely opposite to how you normally would want to.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
It changes things up.
All right, so special battery attack on your front. Yeah. Okay. This I'm going to veteran gunners because this is pretty low. So let's see.
Can you roll
Let's see if
lower?
this is the right decision this time. Yes,
I think it was.
It's about the same. I got a lot of accuracies. I like that. So, I'm going to use my concentrate fire dial, and I'm going to use Commander Beck to count as adding a token as well.
Nice.
Because I don't know how much longer I'm going to last. To add a black die, that was a blank, and then re-roll a die, still a blank. All right, only 5 damage, 2 accuracies. I will accuracy both of your braces. Because I'm not going to get many opportunities to do that.
Okay. I think I'll use Kirsta Agate's ability to ditch one of those braces.
Okay,
to
you want to
resolve
throw her in
that
here?
Effect. Yeah. So I'm going to burn that token, and I think
Brace it
I will-
anyways, so 3 damage. You got 2 shields on the front.
And this is a ignition attack.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm gonna stand on. I'm also going to. I'm just gonna stand on that.
Okay.
So I'll take, and I'll flip a contain because that way.
I got no crits.
Ah,
Yeah,
well,
I was really hoping for a crit to trigger my splash
I
damage
hadn't
effect.
even noticed. I think I saw that die, and I thought that was the one. So, okay, well, I'm just gonna stand on that. So I suffer 3 damage, I think.
Okay, I got 2 shields off your front, and you got a damage card.
Does take evasive action combo with Raquel, so you could give 2 yaw to the
Yeah,
Onager.
or I had a navigate command that turn on the dial, so I could have used that as well, but I just chose not to. Do you mind if I use back to engineering as well? She can do it twice per round.
That is fine.
All right, so I'm trying to get as much use out of this ship as possible before it goes down. 2 engineering points because the ship only has a 3 engineering value. All that's going to do is give me 1 shield back on my bow. Okay. And then my standard attack for my side arc here is going to be a medium range shot at your side. 2 red, 1 blue. And I am all out of tricks to play. So that's the roll. You have shields on that side?
I do.
Oh jeez, you got them back. I will accuracy your salvo because I'm trying to live through to the next round here.
Okay. Excuse me. I will just I'll brace that. Take 1 damage on my side.
Okay. And then I'm going to have to move at speed 1. I can't possibly do anything but bump the Starhawk. So we're both going to take a hit there.
Okay.
I got 5 out of 10. You have...
I also have 5 out of 14.
Ooh. Okay.
Yes.
I'm making progress, but you're making progress faster.
Also, one of the nice things about a Starhawk. Okay, so it's up to me and
Yep, you're MC 30.
Okay. So I'm going to reveal a navigation command, and I ended up with just my front facing you, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to, but I might as well throw some dice at you, so I'm going to do so. So we're at short range. I'm going to go ahead and attack out of my front at you. That makes it, oh, excuse me. That's 1 blue and 2 black dice. Okay. So I'm going to say no brace.
Okay. I am going to redirect to the starboard side. And that's my redirect gone.
Okay. So that's 3 damage.
Okay. So I'm going to lose... you got a crit effect first, before
Yes.
I take the damage.
I would like to give you an assault proton torpedoes.
Okay, so
Yes.
face-up damage card is faulty countermeasures. I cannot spend exhausted defense tokens.
That'll take effect on the next attack.
All right, so 2 shields off the starboard side, 1 shield off the bow. All my shields down. I got 4 hull left.
Okay. And I think I'll attack out of my rear at the Gazanti's right side. So, a blue and a black die. Yeah.
Okay, I will scatter that.
Yeah. Then I need to move. So,
As you are moving, so to answer all of the discussion raging here, can you do rerolls on salvo attacks, or upgrade effects that don't have critical effects, or add dice?
Yeah, any of your normal dice modification goes off, just as long as it doesn't add a die and it's not a non-standard critical effect.
So
Perfect.
I'm going to stay at speed 3 and do this move.
Okay, well, Michael's resolving that, just in a little more detail. Your rerolls all still work. Your dice changes all still work. If you're like changing the die to a specific facing.
Right. But you can't add dice.
No, just you can't resolve anything that says add dice.
Yep.
Defense tokens work as normal against salvo attacks. Any other while attacking effects will still trigger. XI7 turbo lasers will still trigger, for example.
Sure.
All right.
Okay. Gazanti, I believe.
Okay, yeah, my Gazanti has a concentrate fire command and managed to lose its double arc because I forgot where I have joints of turning on my Gazanti's movement. So I'm just going to throw close range, a single blue die from my starboard side into the starboard side of the Starhawk, and concentrate fire a second. 2 crits.
Not a bad shot for Gazanti.
Oh, well, I'm doing some work.
Well, I'm going to salvo back.
Okay. So you're going to take those 2.
Yep.
That's all your shields on the starboard side.
Yep.
And now you're going to swing back at me. This is close range. You got that black die in the pool now.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I'm actually going to get attacked back by a larger attack than I made.
So this is to your starboard side.
Yep.
I'm sorry, you're right. Yeah, your right side, which is starboard. Oh, okay. So 2 damage.
Okay, I'm going to burn my scatter. Because if I get the Assault Proton torpedoed, I'm gone.
I think that's
All right.
the right choice.
Then cruising away at speed 2. Gonna turn towards the station. Because I could really use some heals right now.
Okay. So I think that makes it the squadron phase.
Makes it the squadron phase, so my squadrons will all attack the front of your Starhawk. Here's my damaged TIE fighter for 1.
So I'm just going to suffer this damage.
My healthy TIE fighter for 1. Ooh, doing work. And my bomber. Nothing.
All right.
So how many damage cards is that, Michael?
So I am sitting at 7 out of 14, so half hull.
Do you grab the Onager ship card? There's some people
Yes,
coming in
I
late
can.
who want to get a look at it.
This is my current situation with the Onager.
Perfect.
Okay, that's the round. I think we can go through one more here that
That's what I
should
was just thinking.
seal my fate.
You don't know that.
I might bring that thing down with me, but it's looking slim.
Do ignition attacks only work against ships? What about objectives like attacking a station?
They'll only work against ships. Now, I think you attack the station as if it was a ship.
Yes.
So, yeah,
Yes,
that
it
should
is
still work.
It is treated as a ship.
I think some people are also wondering the last upgrade card that you have on your Mark 1 there. It is leading shots.
Yep. And it just hasn't come into play because my rolls have just been kind of nice.
Right.
So,
Yeah, you got that in hyperdrive.
okay, so
That's my upgrade card, Lorray,
Yep.
for people who are curious. All right, you're going first.
I think it's got to be the Starhawk.
Yeah, I think it has to be.
I'm revealing a nav command, and let's go from my left side first.
We can clear this stuff out before you roll here.
Thank you much.
My defense tokens are refreshed, at least. So if you don't roll accuracies, I'll get to use them.
Okay.
I roll accuracies.
You had to mention it.
All right. I think I'm gonna stand on that. Yes.
2, 3, 4
4 damage.
with
and
2
I think
accuracies.
I'll put the accuracies on
Well,
both of
you
my
accuracy both my
tokens.
defense tokens. I have 6 damage cards out of 10 hull.
This is against your
I
friends.
have no other defense effects. I'm gone.
Boom, boom.
Okay.
There can only be one super weapon.
So at this point, you're going to move forward, run over some of my TIE fighters.
Yep.
They're going to get to attack you in the front.
I would shoot the TIE fighters.
Yeah.
don't know that
Yeah,
I'd
go ahead
actually-
and roll to see if you can kill
We'll
that
shoot some
damaged
TIE
one.
fighters.
I suppose you get to roll with both of them.
So I have a blue and a black on each of these TIE fighters. So let's go.
We're just kind of fast forwarding through what would happen.
The damaged TIE fighter suffers 1.
Okay.
The second TIE fighter suffers 1.
Okay.
And the bomber suffers 2.
Ooh. All right. And then you'd move forward and overlap me, and I'd be placed back on your. Actually,
I'm going to
should be
reduce
done.
speed to speed 1 so that I do not overlap my own ship.
Yeah. Well, here, go ahead and.
And I would turn to the right.
Okay. Well, because I've managed to bring most of your shields down,
Yep. So we'll just go with
and
that.
that targeting covenant's gone. I'll throw these fighters back on the opposite side where there's no shields to protect. My Gazanti is too far to range to do anything. Your MC-30 slows down.
I reveal a nav command and
Yep.
slow down and make a sharp turn.
All right. TIE fighters. First one, nothing. Second one, nothing. And third one, hit crit from my bomber. You guys still got the contain.
I would definitely do the contain and also the brace.
Yeah.
So I would suffer 1 more hull damage, which would take me to 8.
And also, if you want to, you can salvo against the most
good
damaged
point.
TIE fighter using your anti-squadron armament.
Okay. I think let's see what happens with that, because that would be a close range attack.
Yep.
So I'd get my normal army.
And that'll shoot down my most damaged TIE fighter as well. So that's where the game will end.
It's a good point to remember. You can also salvo fighters.
Yeah.
All right, so we saw both that was awesome. So we saw the Onager and the Starhawk in action. Let's pull some of those other ships that we brought
Sure.
out and show kind of the size comparison.
Let's do.
We've been doing a lot of questions, of course, but if anyone has any
the
additional
right there.
questions, go ahead and throw those in the
turn
chat
it.
now.
Actually,
Can you guys talk a bit about designing these ships? What was that like? So Starhawk, never before seen really in a movie. Of course, it comes from the books, the Aftermath
Everything's
series.
going to be on this side. These will be in the back.
Okay.
What was the design process like?
I will go into that.
Okay.
So here's a lineup, if you will, of some of the largest ships in the game.
That Starhawk is so big.
It's massive. Yep.
The only thing bigger is the Superstar Destroyer.
Yeah, got it right back there.
Evan,
Yep.
down on the shelf behind you,
Oh, here it is.
and you should be able to
I
get it in
didn't think we had one out.
right there.
Still the biggest.
I'm
Fit in the shot.
just gonna put these two in the roughly even so you can see their length comparison there. So this is how these came to be is quite the story. It's probably too long to tell the whole thing here.
Yeah, sure.
But we went to Lucasfilm and we said, hey, we want to do these two ships. Are there more images of them? The Onager-Class Star Destroyer first appears as the Imperial Siegebreaker in the Rebels little in-setting source book they do. And the Starhawk appears in the Aftermath novels, is mentioned but is off-screen in Star Wars Battlefront,
Yes.
and a couple of other secondary sources, but had never been depicted before. So Lucasfilm had only the one art piece of the Onager and a internal render that had never seen daylight of the Starhawk that we were allowed to modify slightly to suit our purposes and mainly greeble up, go into more detail. So I spent, like 3 weeks, September, October of last year,
Sure.
working like 10-hour days, poring over all these reference images of the miniatures for the actual like studio models for Star Destroyers, and picking out iconic features like the engine nacelles on an Imperial Star Destroyer, the structure of the superstructure, that kind of tiered, stepped appearance, which you can see echoed in the profile of the Starhawk. Obviously, the prominent sensor domes, various other components and textures that we wanted to use, and then we worked with a concept artist to create full 3D renders of these ships, and then use that to commission art for them. It was a pretty involved process. It was pretty unexpected, actually, to get to do that much development. And it was really cool to see how the sort of silhouette of the ship got fleshed out as we got iterations back from the artist.
For sure.
As it took form and shape. The most obvious feature is the overall silhouettes have stayed roughly the same as their original incarnations, but the Starhawk has taken on a little more of the angular texture of the Star Destroyer's superstructure, and the Onager, we've added a lot more detail in the actual weapons trench, which there's not much detail of in the original art, and on the underside.
Sure.
So that was a pretty incredible experience, and was a lot of fun to do, and also a lot of work.
Yeah.
And seeing them on the table is really rewarding.
That's awesome.
I think a lot of credit goes to our sculpting team too. Yeah, have been doing fantastic work on Armada ever since day one.
Yeah, and especially it's less visible when the Starhawk is mounted, but on the underside, there's all this additional structure.
Yeah.
Down, bring it down. There we go.
On the reverse side of the front hatchet, where there's less armor and more hangars and secondary engines and recesses, and then also along the side of the ship, below the upper armor plates. So yeah, a lot of credit goes to them for realizing these miniatures.
That's awesome, and it looks like everyone is appreciating it as well. Are there any plans to do any kind of points rebalancing similar to what happened with Legion a little while ago, or is that something that you guys aren't really looking at this time for Armada?
I would say stay tuned. That's something we are seriously looking at. But I don't have an update on that at this time. I think it would be I think Armada's, is a venerable game at this point, and so some adjustments would be a good thing.
We've put a lot of thought into, if anything changes, what we need to change, what we would want to change, and how we would go about doing that.
What about Clone Wars stuff?
We're working on Clone Wars. It's coming in the future.
Yeah.
As soon as we can get it to you, and I'm excited to get that out. I can't say much more about specifics right now,
Right.
but keep watching this space.
It's happening. It's Clone Wars. Yeah, we'll have more to share on that in 2020. So stay tuned for that. Let's see. Yep, I just answered that. Card packs like for Legion, question mark. Or for X-Wing, I guess, is also getting similar sort of card packs. Or they may be referring specifically to the upgrade card pack that Legion got when I had imagined that, we're certainly aware of the upgrade card disparity and, their plans to address that.
Legion always gets called out. X-Wing was the game, actually.
Yeah.
We were working on the card packs first. The Legion ones just beat us to release because they weren't doing nothing new in the card pack.
Right.
Whereas
right.
the X-Wing card packs have actually new stuff coming out in them.
And so it's safe to say, if you are getting into the game for the first time with
Yeah.
Clone Wars, you will not have to buy every single ship.
We want to make sure that new players are supported, and
Right.
that is something we've put a lot of thought into.
Absolutely.
So,
Very good. Questions. Will Imperials/Rebels be done once Clone Wars releases, or will there still be smatterings of additional ships?
We've done all of the on-screen ships, barring some things that appear way in the background of Return of the Jedi kind of thing.
Right.
There are more ships in the setting. It would be cool to get to them at some point. I doubt we are not going to do any. We are going to have more content that's available to Galactic Civil War era fleets. Whether that includes ships, not in the immediate future, in the next year plus, we focused on giving the Republic and the Separatists more ship miniatures,
Right.
To build out their fleets. But it's certainly not. We're certainly not done with the Galactic Civil War.
Yeah, you have not seen the last Imperial or Rebel content.
Absolutely. All right. Let's see. I'm just checking real quick if there are any other questions we are able to answer. Yeah, so there will be, more new ships coming on the way. Stay tuned on that. Like we mentioned at the beginning, Starhawk and Onager, currently planned for December release. That's not yet set in stone. They could move back to the first quarter of next year. But we're currently looking at December. Check our upcoming page. It's more accurate now. We reworked it. And so that should be a more reliable source of information going forwards. Do you guys have anything you want to say to the fans before we sign off?
No?
I'm happy to still be working on Armada after all this time. I'm really excited to see some new ships come out. And the future's really exciting.
Yeah, it's been an absolute joy to get a chance to work on this stuff.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. We stream every Tuesday and Thursday, so make sure that you subscribe, hit that bell so you're notified whenever we go live. Thanks to Carolina Game Tables for our streaming table. Join us on Thursday. We're going to be doing some Star Wars Legion, and it should be pretty fun. We'll have actually some special new rules for you guys. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Links in the description. We'll see you next time.